So with Marvel Spider-Man 2 DLC and New Game Plus on the horizon, since it's December now, I wanted to make a video talking about the DLC suits that I'd like to see, obviously as suits in Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is pretty crazy to think about. I mean, not so long ago, we were waiting for the game, and now we're about to be talking about DLC suits. Now, there are confirmed suits that are coming that were being worked on with some certain celebrities and Kid Super, but that is completely different. That's a completely different conversation from the actual DLC suits, because the DLC is pretty much confirmed to be happening by Brian Intihar. There's been teasers. I mean, even in the story, there's been quite a few, just things that haven't been finished, like a lot of loose ends, like the whole story with the Flame and, Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. There's just so much that's going on, a potential Daredevil crossover as well. So I'm hoping we get 3 different little DLCs, kind of like the City That Never Sleeps type DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2. So the premise of this DLC suits that I've got here, if you see it on the screen, I've got 3 folders, and each of these folders contain 5 suits. So we've got 5 suits that I want to see from Miles, 5 suits for Peter, and then 5 symbiote suits. We're going to lead off with Miles, and then we're going to finish off with the symbiote suits. So, first of all, I do want to say thank you so much for 97,000 subscribers. We're probably going to hit 100k before the end of the year. So if you see this, help me make that dream come true. Now, let's jump into the DLC suits. So, the number 1 DLC suit or technically number 5 DLC suit I actually want to see is just the evil Miles variant we see in the comics. I think this is a pretty cool little design. It's not like the traditional classic suit. Obviously, you've got a bit of difference on the emblem. It's got a jacket, and it's all around kind of interesting, because an evil Miles Morales variant in the multiverse, you're like, whoa, what the hell? That's a pretty crazy thing, right? I mean, you can see him here a bit better. I really like the sort of color contrast that there is going on here. Like, he's got blue webs, a blue spider, and you can see like the spider is actually different as well, right? It looks like it's upside down. It's such a cool little design, and that jacket there is awesome as well. So I would really love to see something like this as a DLC suit, and also obviously like alternate variations as well with DLC suits. Like, please don't lock us away from that type of thing, right? Now let's move on to the next one, which is number 4, and this is actually Captain Universe Miles, right? This is a really cool thing that we've gotten a lot of alternate costumes for Peter in the past, and lots of different games. I mean, I'm pretty sure like the Captain Universe was like an alternate suit even in the Spider-Man 2000 game, if I'm not mistaken. So having Miles finally have his own version of the suit would actually be quite amazing, right? And I hope that it's animated and it glows, and all the stars and things are just done well, because it's such a powerful entity, right? This pretty much makes Miles a god. When the Enigma Force chooses somebody, it is so cool and so OP, and it would really, like I said, it would just look amazing at nighttime swinging around with this suit. I mean, the potential, and especially with like gliding as well, because imagine when you glide, you don't even have the web wings, he just glides. You could just say it's through his power, which would be amazing, right? And I think a lot of you guys could agree. And as well, in the comments below, you can feel free to leave your own suit wishlist ideas as well, on what you guys would like to see personally as DLC suits for Peter and Miles, as well as symbiote ones, right? So that'd be cool. And now number 3, we actually have the Vampire Slayer Miles, right? I thought this was a really cool sort of concept that would work really well for Miles. This is like a suit that Blade gives to Miles that kind of makes him immune to being converted into a vampire, and it comes with a lot of different like tools to slay vampires. Like, that's the whole point of it. It looks amazing, right? Like, here's a better picture of it. Look at this. Look at how cool this looks, right? Like, it's just got Miles of traditional colors, and then some white webbing and a white spider. It's got like a cool, like, sort of, I guess, coat, but it's kind of morphed onto like his suit. Like, I don't know, it just looks awesome, and I would love to see this translated into an actual suit. I think it genuinely would fit the bill as one of the cooler suits we could get as DLC, and those lenses that you see there on Miles actually look seriously awesome, to be honest with you. I hope I'm doing justice to some of these suits, because these are my own personal picks, right? Now, In the number 2 spot, we actually have, I think his name's Arachnido Jr. or Arachnido. I don't know how to pronounce it 100%. But I thought mainly this would be a good fit for Miles because of the build of this like character. And I don't know, he's just got a cool design, right? Like the whole design for this character is really cool. And he's like pretty interesting in the comics as well. But I feel like this would be an awesome DLC suit that we could see because like Peter has had like various different alternative costumes like 2099, which really isn't, you know, Peter. So something like this for Miles would also be really cool, right? So, you know, not really much I can say about this one, right? Besides, I just kind of would like to see it, to be honest with you. And then the number 1 suit's probably the most anticipated thing I really want to see because this is the Earth 42 Miles Morales, aka the Prowler. Now, I know he's not technically Spider-Man, but this man was meant to be Spider-Man. So, and he can like kind of swing through the streets anyways. He's got all these tech gauntlets. This suit would probably take so much effort to make, but look at this. This would be so awesome. And because his face is covered, you could easily keep the rest of this the way it's meant to be. It would just be fantastic, man. I mean, they've already had characters kind of like show their hair in this game, like, you know, even Mars's like Adidas suit. You know, you've got like Peter's like apocalyptic suit. So this should be fine, right? Like this should be completely fine as a suit, and it would seriously be so awesome to see this at nighttime with all this glowing and the Spider-Verse animated effect. I mean, come on, man. Like I know for sure that a lot of you guys would be like in agreement with this. I almost dropped my controller, by the way. But I'm sure you guys would agree with me on this list, and I hope you do. So these were the 5 DLC suits I'd like to see from Miles. Now let's move on to Peter, shall we? Now I had to start it off right away in the number 5 spot with the GOAT himself, the spectacular Spider-Man. We've had animated versions of suits, as you already know, that were pretty accurate to their original designs, and I feel like Spectacular Spider-Man deserves the spot and deserves some love. Because, I mean, he's finally made his appearance back and Across the Spider-Verse. We all wanted to see him. We all wanted to know what happens. And this would be amazing to see our favorite animated web slinger back, right? I absolutely love Spectacular Spider-Man. And I don't know who doesn't love this guy. Like, he's probably one of the best versions of Spidey. He's just so fun. He's just amazing, right? I mean, come on. Try to tell me you don't want to see this boy come back, right? Look at him. The design is amazing and would probably fit in really well as well. And of course, for some of these suits, I will show mods that already exist for various suits, and this is something that he could possibly look like. So, you know, there's already no issues with him being in the game. Like, it's already doable. It probably wouldn't even be too much work. I just assume it'd probably have to do with like licensing and things like that, but I really hope they can get past licensing issues for some of these suits because, you know, give us Spectacular, right? He is a spectacular Spider-Man, and I will not rest until I see him. I mean, look, he's even got like web wings already, like there. Like, come on, man, just give us the boy. Now, the number 4 spot is like pretty obvious. It's going to be Peter B. Parker, because why did we get Miles having his Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and his store-bought, like the store-bought costume, but we didn't get Peter B. Parker? Like, come on, that's like a no-brainer. Have this with that Miles, so you can pair them up perfectly for a playthrough. Now, I don't care if it's like the Peter B. Parker with the sweatpants, or if it's the previous one with the full-on costume. Hell, you could make like the full costume one and then have like a variant or style where he's just got the sweatpants or something, right? Because that would be amazing. And yes, this is what he looks like in the game as a mod, and it's easily doable. I'm sure they could bring him back, and I would absolutely love to see him. Like, it sucks that it has to be a DLC slot, but, you know, I would take it as a DLC slot regardless, because the suit is amazing, right? I mean, look at it. It's just one of the... It's like, I don't even have words, man. It's just a classic Spidey, right? It's a classic Spidey done in a perfect animated style where the character's amazing and very, very relatable. So, you know, just bring him back, right? Like, he just looks awesome in game, and it'll easily be done. Maybe just give him some shoes or something, I don't know. But I'm sure they'll bring back just the way he originally looked, or maybe give him like the, I don't know, the outfit that he was wearing in Across the Spider-Verse, I guess. Which would be hilarious, to be honest. Now, The number 3 spot is actually something I personally really want to see, and I think a lot of the community agrees. And this side here is by Man Arts, and this is Spider-Man, or like, you know, Unlimited Spider-Man, the Unlimited suit, whatever you want to call it. The show itself, I don't really know how I feel about, but this suit was probably one of the coolest, like, tech-based futuristic suits that I've seen Spider-Man have. This web cape was pretty much built for the traversal and like showcase of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Like, it would just work perfectly over there. So you could go either way, you know, you could have like a more realistic look of it with some more like, you know, tech being shown like this, or you could go the route of being really accurate and making it the cartoon style like this with the full-on shader. So whatever you want to do, just please add the suit. I don't care if it's the realistic one or the non-realistic one. Regardless, they will look amazing. I know the community agrees. I mean, this already, like, look at this. This is the cartoon version. It's just peak. Regardless if you want to do cartoon or realistic, it doesn't matter. It just would look so fantastic. So please, Insomniac, or if anybody else is watching this, any of the devs, any of the people that work on getting these suits on board, hear me out, man. This suit is amazing, and I would love to see it get adapted. Thank you. And the number 2 spot, come on. You think I'm going to forget about the boy? About, you know, Toei Spider-Man or Japanese Spider-Man, our boy, the emissary from hell himself? Nah, we don't forget this boy. This dude is one of the best Spider-Man out there. Genuinely, he's just such a menace, and I love this dude. He's such like a, I don't know, he's just hilarious, man, and I think he deserves some love, right? Like, this show was amazing, and, you know, he's been in the comics, he's been in crossovers, but come on, just bring him into the game. Why not? I know a lot of these look like they're classic suits, but relax, they're all different, right? And, you know, you've got like this comic book kind of cover here. It just looks amazing. And then, of course, here's a mod by Tango Teds. Tango's already brought our boy into Marvel Spider-Man, and I'm sure without a doubt modders will bring all of these fantastic characters into Marvel Spider-Man 2. But I would love them to get some official love, right? I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Maybe licensing things again. I don't know how it works, but, you know, there's probably like negotiations and things happening and whatnot, but seriously be amazing. So please. And the number 1 spot, we've got actually, so of course, you know, gotta get imposing there. We've actually got Ghost Spider, but not the one you're thinking of. So this is actually the same character I want to bring, but this is before he becomes Ghost Spider, right? So this is that guy. This is the guy that kind of tricks all of these Spider-Men to come to his dimension. He takes their powers, and then, you know, 616 Spidey comes, he then sacrifices himself, and later comes back as Ghost Spider. That's his story. So we already had Ghost Spider, like this suit, which was awesome and crazy, and I'm surprised they didn't bring it back. It would have been really cool to see it with like different flame colors. But I would love to see this guy, because I know, you know, it's respectful. Spider-Man doesn't wear capes, but hear me out. I think in this context, with the colors, this suit is justified to be in the game because it looks really different, and I feel like with different color like styles this could really pop, because you could easily just have like blue and red here, and it would look amazing as like an alternate style as well. Like, there's probably so many different different styles you could do. You could probably do white and black as well. Like, there's so much really cool stuff. So I don't know, I'm a fan of this. You only really get to see it like in this panel, but I don't know, man. I think it's worth it for a DLC, or I might just commission someone to make this. I don't know, but I just think it's cool, alright? Don't beat me up. And now we're gonna move on to the 5 symbiote suits that I really want to see. So let's go. Alright, so we're here with the number 5 spot for the symbiote suits, and this one technically isn't a symbiote suit. It's like they get converted into this, and they get called poisons. Like, the host gets melted to power whatever the hell this is. But I've always absolutely loved the design of Poison Spider-Man. Yeah, there are 2 Poison Spider-Man that are completely different, but this one just looks amazing. I mean, that the way like the spider kind of just has these weird tentacles that go off the suit. I don't know how that would work potentially. Like, I don't know if they can really have that be animated or just like, you know, stay there. It might look weird. It might be a bit difficult, but I mean, look at this, right? Like, it is so, so cool, man. It is amazing looking, right? Like, I don't know, it's just something I really, really love about it. I mean, again, my favorite part is like that spider emblem. It just looks amazing, and you know, I don't know, man. I just like it, all right? It's not like I'm a big story guy behind the suit. It's literally a multiversal event where all the symbiote like characters that have their symbiotes get brought in to fight against these guys, and then they all lose numbers, yada yada yada. Spider-Man gets converted because they use like mind tactics to show him like Mary Jane and like Aunt May. Then he gets converted by touching one of those little poison things, and then he gets completely taken over, right? So that's pretty much the story. But speaking of you know, more cool symbiote sort of crossovers and alternate variations, we've got in the number 4 spot, which is Eddie Brock Spider-Man, right? There's like an alternate like universe, obviously. Spidey dies when he takes off the symbiote. Symbiote feels guilty, goes to Eddie Brock, they share their memories, and they become Spider-Man, right? It is really cool. It's a really cool concept, and I mean, come on, man, who doesn't want to see this? And it's one way we could actually get Eddie Brock kind of in Marvel Spider-Man 2, right? This suit genuinely looks amazing. Like, you've got all those webs there on the legs and the arms, and the spiders are really cool design. And I mean, come on, how is this not amazing, right? Like, I'm just a sucker for the big spider emblems that go all over the body and stuff, and I love the symbiote, so this is a no-brainer. It is extremely recent, so I don't know how that would work in terms of them like bringing it into the game, but I'm sure there could be a way, right? Like, at least over the course of the game's lifetime, you know. So there is that, right? Like, it just here's him like kicking Doc Ock, and you know, oops, that's a spoiler. But yeah, looks amazing. Now again, number 3 spot is Agent Venom. Okay, Agent Venom is, we pretty much see him in the game, right? Like, we see Harry kind of give a nod to Agent Venom with the way his suit looks. But the Agent Venom suit, if they don't plan to do anything with Harry becoming like a future Agent Venom or Agent Anti-Venom, whatever they want to do with that whole thing, this would be an amazing alternate like symbiote suit to have. Because I actually kind of dig this whole like armored up symbiote thing that they did with Flash Thompson, where it's like an agent. He like kind of suppresses the Venom symbiote, goes on missions, it helps him walk. It's like a really, really cool whole like thing that was awesome in the comics. And you know, even at one point he becomes Agent Anti-Venom, and you can see Eddie Brock down there being like, bruh, what? You know? So, you know, regardless of which version they give us, this would just be an awesome suit to see. You know, Agent Anti-Venom is amazing. Agent Venom himself is amazing. And here's a look at what he looks like in Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. This mod. So we could easily see some cool things. Like, look at this. It translated pretty damn well into the games. You know, just give it to us, right? Like, he looks amazing. He's got a cool design. There's lots of different like designs you could choose from, but I choose the one that's straight from the comics. Maybe they can like change a few bits and things for the Insomniac like universe. Doesn't really matter, but you know, that's kind of what I would like to see. Now, I don't know if this was number 3 or number 2 or what. I don't even know if I actually got all the sort of symbiotes out there, but it doesn't really matter. I kind of lost count, my bad. Alright, so in the next suit that I would actually really want to see, and this one's really relevant to the potential DLC with Carnage, it would be Spider Carnage, like easily. This is one of my favorite alternate like suits of all time, regardless, because it's like Carnage mixed with Ben Reilly. I mean, like, come on, dude. How is this not the coolest looking design you've seen for like a symbiote bond, right? Like, you've got Ben Reilly's spider emblem there, and then you've got this like crazy Carnage mouth, and like you can still see he kind of looks like Spider-Man, but he's just been completely taken over. It is pure insanity. It looks amazing, and I would absolutely kill for this to be an alternate variation. And of course, you change all the tentacles and things like that as well to really, you know, sort of like, you know, look like that, right? Which would be just fantastic. And then I guess if I didn't get all 5, one of the other variations I would like to see is also called Poison Spider-Man. But it's kind of different because look at this. So he's got like, this is when Spider-Man pretty much rejects the other, which helped them regenerate and come back. I think it was like with organic webs. I don't remember. I think it's when he fought, no, not Null. I don't know, the vampire guy. Too much backstory to talk about. But what happens is Venom senses that he's kind of like fighting for his life, goes over there, Peter dies, and then they kind of fuse into this weird thing. There's no Peter Parker in here. It's just Venom piloting his dead corpse pretty much. It's crazy. But that design is cool, and this was an alternate suit in Edge of Time. Or it was Shattered Dimensions. It was either Shattered Dimensions or Edge of Time. I can't remember, but I think it was for $20.99. It's a crazy suit. It would be amazing to see, right? It's a very dark thing, and that is my pick for this sort of like DLC or whatever. I mean, here's an actual look at what that looked like in game. It looks crazy. It looks so gross, and they could easily get this creepy factor up like this. I think that'd be amazing. But yeah, these are my picks for the DLCs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel. I absolutely love all of you. Check out this video on screen here. Take care of yourselves. Peace.